Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Area Podcast. I'm Josie.
I'm Somya.
And I'm Mana.
And today we are going to be doing a second part to our Racism in the Arts series. Sadly, Saya couldn't join us today, but we hope to incorporate some of the points that she wanted to bring up. But before we start, how are you guys?
Doing better.
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
Today was actually quite a relaxing day. It was
it's a
chill.
Mm-hmm.
We were organizing books.
Yeah, lots of organizing today.
So for Seisen students, the books in the art room are now very organized because I don't know why, but I just suddenly got obsessed with them, and our art teacher let us organize them instead of playing games. in art class.
I know.
So yeah, now the books are organized. There's a lot of books, maybe not as diverse as it should be, but there's a lot of books. So definitely check out those resources.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, how are you guys feeling as seniors? We have 4 days left. 4 days left of actual school.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like I'm a senior, to be honest.
Yeah, it's really surreal. Today we had like ice cream day, which is nice.
Oh my,
Yeah.
I'm lactose intolerant and I ate that.
Oh.
I was just like, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like being a senior, I have this confidence, but then also I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh, I get that feeling. Oh my god, I get that feeling. I
Yeah.
totally get what you're
And, like,
talking about.
It fluctuates. The
Yeah.
confidence of being a senior, knowing what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I also feel the stress of like I have to bond with my kohai a lot more. Like
Oh.
my
Yeah, definitely.
what is kohai in English? My underclassmen.
Yeah,
my
yeah,
underclassmen a lot
underclassmen.
more.
Yeah.
And like teachers too. I'm like I didn't have a good enough relationship with this teacher, and I have 4 days to fix that.
But like teachers are like really nice. I feel like in our last
Mm.
days. I mean, they're always nice and helpful.
I know,
always
but like
nice.
sometimes they act like we're dying. You know what I mean? Like they're like, we've had a lot of fun together.
I know.
I won't forget you. Like,
yeah.
I hope not.
Yeah.
But it's okay. And then after that, we have exams.
I'm not feeling nervous about exams yet, but
Me
when I
neither.
do, I feel like I'm gonna be really
but
nervous.
I think we're really lucky that we took art.
Yeah, because then we
'Cause-
have one less
Yeah.
subject.
Like
Yeah.
technically, we took the exam, but it's a lot earlier.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's not in the stress categorized of exams.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
True.
I digress. Okay, so let's get started with today's topic. Roll the intro. What is it? Roll the music. Cue the music.
The Area Podcast is brought to you by the Anti-Racism in Education Alliance. This discussion-based podcast aims to analyze subjects regarding racism and social justice. We encourage you to talk about similar topics to your friends, family, and surrounding community. Thank you for listening.
Oh yeah, it's such great music. Fun fact, I don't like the intro. Oh wait, okay, so I didn't have the fancy mics when I was first recording the intro. So I was just like sitting there. It was like 2 a.m. And I was sitting in my room like under covers, so there wasn't a lot of white noise.
Yeah.
And I was trying to record the intro as best as I could, and I sound so So I can't listen to the intro when I edit it. So hopefully future.
I think it's fine, but yeah, we could totally
It's so awkward. Like hopefully future podcast episodes somebody fixes it because I cannot listen to. I have to skip through it. But yeah, anyways, okay, so racism in the arts. So Mana is actually gonna start us off with today's topic.
So we'll talk about racism in the music industry.
Yep.
So let's start with genre segregation.
Okay.
So what do you guys know about it so far? Like,
I know nothing. No, I'm kidding. I mean, with art, I think because it's like such a fluid concept, it's also very hard to put art in a category.
Yeah.
Like when you categorize
Yeah.
art, and I feel like
totally
with
agree.
genres, that's what it's attempting to do. Not that it's a bad thing, but
yeah.
it's hard when there's like fluidity in
Yeah.
art. Like there's no definition.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
yeah,
You know?
and in the
Tea,
music
okay.
industry, like it's a big problem because like R&B
Yeah.
was originally made for as an African American like genre
Yeah.
in response to like pop
Yeah.
culture, but then nowadays a lot of like white artists are like, it's not bad that they're exploring R&B. Like of course, like we could have different artists in different genres, but like they're kind of, is perpetuating the right word?
Yeah.
They're perpetuating like the Billboard charts of like R&B.
Oh, like they're perpetuating the idea that white people can kind of invade.
Yeah.
And of course, okay, I get what you're trying to say. It's like a weird conversation to have
Yeah.
Yeah.
because like obviously with art, I think I like it when there's like a separation of art and race. Like in sports too, like because it has nothing to do with race, but then with art, because there's so much history behind it,
for sure,
it's a lot harder, right? So yeah, I get what you're saying. Like if I look at a Billboard chart, and like we go and there's an R&B category, and then we go to like award ceremony for music industry, and everybody who's winning R&B category music is all white people. That would feel weird.
That's frustrating.
Separation of art and race aside, especially in today's atmosphere, that would be awkward to see. So I get what you mean.
Yeah, it is frustrating. If that happens.
And especially like artists like Lil Nas. I know like Saya wanted to talk about this. But
Saya, we miss you.
Yes, we miss you. We wish you were here to talk about this. But yeah, like
acting like she's dead.
No, don't say that.
But I know, like, you know, white artists, like, not to call out, but Justin Bieber.
Oh yeah,
he's exploring more not just pop,
like R&B, but he was mad that one of his songs didn't get categorized as R&B, right?
Oh yeah. So it's a bit of a
it's weird
problem in both ways, I think. Like being like categorized in the wrong way, but also like white artists taking the place that, like, you know, a black artist should take. So
I think in the future, as close as we can get to being an anti-racist world, the day where art and race are completely separate fields, that's gonna be my heaven.
Yes. That's
because,
true.
like, you know, there's no question about it. It's just art is like this huge
mixture.
This huge mixture. For the listeners who don't know, I always mix up the French word for mix and the English word for mix. So yeah. Anyways, this huge mixture.
It's beautiful though.
Melange. It's horrible. I like it's so bad. This is like my third time. Anyways, yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh no. So yeah, we were talking about like genre categorization, but there's also like other problems of racism in the music industry, like how the media portrays artists within the industry. So especially within like interviews and stuff, and like magazine articles or anything, like interviewers often ask the same questions that sort of reinforce that like stereotype or like it's sort of microaggression in a way.
Are you thinking of any questions in particular, or just like general?
Like, how are you so good at English? Or like, you know, like Asian artists.
Yeah.
And like how did you first learn English? Or how do you feel like, I don't know, how do you feel making it to the top in US, like finally, like making it out here?
Oh, and they kind of like
and it's like,
prioritize the US's success. I don't know. Especially even, oh my god, I lost my train of thought. Wait, music industry, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's not coming back. Go ahead. Did you have anything to say?
No.
Oh. but I think like stereotypes is a big thing. Yeah. You know? Is that what you were gonna say?
No.
No.
Yeah. I feel like it was such a good
and
point
like
too.
It's associated with all cultures. Like there's stereotypes.
Like I think Asian stereotypes.
Yeah.
And like
Oh.
Yes.
Good. Finish your sentence.
Asian stereotypes is a big thing, as well as like especially Chinese stereotypes in rap music and stuff. Yeah. And I know that a lot of Asian artists are trying to like combat that.
Yeah.
What I was going to add on was that when they ask questions like, why is your English so well?
Yeah.
They're looking at their ability to speak English as their like pass into this higher level of musical ability.
Yeah.
And it's like, my English capability has nothing to do with the music I produce.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so true. And like connecting back to what Mana was saying, this also happens like within Asian countries, like against other Asian countries. Like for example, like Indian like comedy shows. There's there's a lot of racial stereotypes against Asians, for example, like Koreans, Chinese, Japanese, and it's
so like a lot of East Asian.
Yeah.
We're Asian. We should all unite.
I know.
Yeah.
We have bigger enemies. Okay, Okay, that kind of bummed me out. It's such a sad because it's music.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys like Lil Nas X's new song?
Yes.
I'm
Sort of. I only listened to half of it. Wait, the one with the music video.
Yeah, we shouldn't talk about the music video here, but
yeah. But yeah, I only listened to half of it. It was good, I think.
Yeah, I think I don't know, with a lot of new music that has a potential to be politically charged, sometimes it's not going to be received well, but
like art in the end is a form of expression, self-expression.
I think
freedom
art
of expression
reflects society's values, and that's exactly what it's doing.
So like nothing else should matter apart from that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, moving on.
Yes.
we were talking about categorization. Anything else?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to move on to exclusivity? Okay, so obviously with the arts, we talked about how a lot of minority artists have to permeate their way into this higher classification of good music, quote unquote, like being awarded accolades and things like that for the music that they produce, because it's like a higher standard. But of course we know that higher standard isn't always I saw the cleaning lady, I got distracted. Isn't always achievable like equally. So certain people, certain minority groups are not going to be able to have a clear path, as they say, in terms of higher classifications of art. So Somi is actually going to talk about that a little bit.
So like Josie was saying, in the art there's a lot of like elitism. Is that the right word? So for example, if I were to give an example, for centuries art in the traditional sense has been centralized, and powerful people like kings and queens of have always appointed like artists and musician in their courts, but these art forms were always like stuff like classical art, or like art that it was like known to be very elite and not like common people art, or like art that is accessible to people who are not that rich, or like people, exactly, the majority. So if I were to give an example of this from like even like within India, it would be like the divide between halal music, or no, not halal, Bahu music, and I know. So it's basically folk music. It has like a long heritage of like preaching their religious values. And this is like contrasted with like Indian classical music, which is like mainstream music, and it normally like overpowers the rest of the other music forms in India, which is unfair because
there is more to
and if I were to talk about this in like not music but like art mediums, we could talk about like oil painting or like oil paint, and we all know oil paints are like very, very expensive.
In case you didn't know, now you know.
They are very expensive, but like they're known to be like this universal art medium that all artists use. Like if you also look at like art from like older generations, it's like one of the most common mediums, but it's quite inaccessible, and it is very expensive to have and thus participate in due to its high cost.
You know what bothers me about oil paints? Like even in art class, like our art teacher was like, when she was talking about technique and technical competence, like I remember like in my head that just meant that my artwork didn't look like classical art, like realism. Like
for some reason classical art is like the standard,
which makes no sense. Even the fact that it's called classical art, I'm like, if I could fight paintings for their definition, like
classical has such like
like
larger connotations to the word.
This is basically my TOK presentation, but when we label things, oh shit, it's my TOK essay. When we label things, especially if their connotations, it's gonna perpetuate a lot of behaviors that are unspoken, right? Microaggressions or otherwise. So when we call classical art, it's just Western. It's just old Western art.
It is,
and it's and like when we're talking about Japanese art, for example, from like the Edo era, we have to call it like traditional Japanese art, not classical. Because
Yeah.
classical means something else now. But yeah, definitely a huge bother.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the sad thing is like these like more accessible or like more accessible and like low in cost art mediums such as like graffiti or like henna design. They're less popularized and hence are like considered to be like less elegant, which is
They're kind of looked down on sometimes.
Yeah,
like especially
exactly.
graffiti. Like I know that a lot of people can make such amazing pieces, like you know. But then it's like it sort of has like bad connotations.
Yeah.
Like graffiti art. Yeah.
Oh, to like it's seen as like dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it really makes you wonder why there's like such a great separation between like elite art forms and like art forms that are like accessible to the majority of the world.
It's like paying $85 to go to a Philharmonic Orchestra concert and then like $3 for poetry slam. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
That's like the
Exactly.
actual prices.
Yeah.
When I was talking to one of my teachers about my TOK,
Mm.
it was something TOK, essay or presentation. One of the examples that I was talking about was, like slam poetry and rap versus like the violin
Instrument.
And, like,
Instrument.
I play violin.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons that my mom let me play violin was because it's like it has this weight to it.
Yeah.
When people hear that I play violin,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, she plays violin.
Yeah.
But then if I'm like, I'm a rapper,
I know. Yeah.
like,
exactly.
there's a difference in response, right? And I think like those two fields have like very different social reception. Like I think rap has this whole stigma about it, especially with things like rap culture, which was a previous episode that you should listen to.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely the perception of it is very different. But I think in general, it is a consequence of exclusivity in arts.
Yeah.
Mediums or otherwise. Yeah. I don't know. What's your guys' favorite art medium?
Art medium? Huh.
I personally work well with acrylics.
Same.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's
Yeah.
cheap
Like
and it's my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also like things like gouache.
Oh.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys already know this, but for the listeners, my entire exhibition was a mix of acrylic and gouache.
Yeah.
Because they work so well together. Art students, that's what you should do. Mix acrylic and gouache.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell you otherwise. Hi. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
But Somya, can you tell us more about the henna art?
Oh yeah. Okay. So henna art is basically like made with like leaves. I don't know what leaves exactly. Like I need to do my research too. But I know it's made out of like ground up like leaves which like stains your hand. So it's like it only lasts like a week. And yeah, we were having this discussion before, but like many people wonder if like using henna for like other purposes, such as like freckles,
Temporary tattoos.
temporary tattoos or like freckles, is it like invasive to Indian culture? Insensitive, yeah. And I don't think so, because I think it's an art medium, and I think the medium can have very diverse uses. I think it's the designs themselves that are very
have that cultural weight.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
good to hear.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Do you guys get those Snap advertisements where they're like temporary tattoos? No.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
ink
We're
box?
like
I'm
the
all
ink
about
box.
ink
I see that all the time.
Yeah. Is Snapchat? Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
I always thought that was so similar to henna, because even the applicator. I can't speak English.
Application process.
The process?
The tool that you use to do the ink box thing.
Yeah.
It looks so much like henna.
Really?
Yeah. Except for ink box is black.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's true.
it feels like the same. Does henna like appear as soon as you take it off?
No.
Oh yeah,
You
same
need-
with ink box.
Oh.
It like appears the next day.
Yeah, like it takes about a day or two, and you have to do like certain things, like put lemon on your hands. Hint.
really?
Never mind. Ink box. Doesn't do that.
Yeah, put lemon or like honey.
I bought ink box
you
in like 9th grade,
Oh.
and then I was too scared to do anything.
Yeah.
So I just put a heart on my foot, and it stayed there for like 4 weeks.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways, yeah. So I just wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Exclusivity in the arts.
Yeah.
Sorry, we always get sidetracked.
Yeah. Like Josie was saying before, like instruments also. Like I think instruments has one of the greatest like divide between what is considered like
Exactly.
like elite. Oh my god, instruments and like
high class.
Yeah.
And
And
like low class.
I wouldn't be mad about the price of violins or like cellos
Mm.
if they didn't also exclude certain people from playing violin. and
Yeah.
cellos. Like if it bothers me because I know I have friends
Yeah.
who like will never pick up a violin in their life.
Yeah.
And I have friends who like can pick up a violin and don't want to.
Yeah.
But like let's say people who don't have the access to it don't know that they don't want to. Like already because they're born into a certain society,
Yeah.
a certain race, they're not gonna be associated with that kind of art.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're not really exposed to it because of your,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's right to say, but like economic
Background.
Yeah.
background. Yeah. Then like
It's
you won't really
intersectionality
know.
too.
Yeah.
Because like already being born into, let's say, I don't like saying lower class, it feels so demeaning. Economic class with less standing, there's a high chance that you're already in some sort of minority group
Yeah.
because you're already so disadvantaged from history.
I know. Yeah.
My blood pressure right now.
And it's like all these instruments come from like Western countries that are considered
Yeah.
high class.
Yeah.
Like I can buy a ukulele for $20.
Like-
Yeah.
There's
10.
so many other
Sorry. Go ahead.
there's so many other like cultural instruments that could be considered very beautiful.
In schools too.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
always,
my god.
it's always
Yeah.
orchestra.
Yeah, like
symphonic.
I've never seen a school orchestra play anything other than the piano, violin, flute.
I meant like
Yeah.
the options in school
Oh, the
are
options.
only orchestra or like woodwind orchestra.
True.
Oh. Yeah. I only did jazz band before.
Oh,
In, like-
Oh, I used to do
fourth grade.
percussion.
I
Oh,
didn't get
really?
jazz band.
Yeah.
I was a flautist.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
How
and
did
then
I-
I switched to violin.
Oh,
my
wait,
sister was
flute?
a.
Did you say
Yeah.
flute?
My sister
I
also
did
used.
flute. Yeah.
My
I was
sister
a
too. She
Oh,
used to play
really?
the flute. Yeah.
Let's go so high.
Yeah, I was a flute person in my jazz band.
Yeah.
I was actually
Oh,
one
you
of the
know.
best.
Oh my god! I always
I was
wanted to.
the only flautist.
Really?
Yeah.
There weren't other students who wanted to play the flute.
No, everybody was like trumpet.
Or like
Saxophone.
saxophone. No, clarinet.
Yeah.
Clarinet.
Oh, I
Clarinet
always
was
wanted to play the
disgusting.
clarinet for some
Yeah.
I did
reason.
not like clarinet.
Like I wanted to play the bass clarinet.
No. You know why I didn't
Oh.
like clarinet? Because Squidward from SpongeBob plays it, and he made it look so disgusting.
Okay, I did not even register that.
Yeah. Anyway, so schools most of the time they only offer like symphonic, like
Yeah.
Western orientated.
I think it's like also like our
Art.
system that like perpetuates or like aggravates. I don't know if they're aggravates this behavior because we're not given access to other resources.
I mean, but also like, I think to schools it would be like incongruous if they added something that was like traditional Japanese music, like club, you know, because everything is so Western, especially in art and international schools. In
Yeah,
general.
that's true.
But also, like, there's a question of because there's this whole social standard of specific art forms. Do you think people would even join if we had like a more diverse curriculum in the arts? Like, if we, what's that instrument where you pluck?
Koto.
Koto.
I was
Koto.
gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we had koto as an option for like a music club, do you think people would join? Because
I'm
I don't
not
think-
sure.
Yeah, I feel like people would be more interested in symphonic orchestra just because it's more like recognized.
Yeah, I do feel.
And
do
it's
think
sad
so.
because even now,
Yeah.
because I grew up in like always being surrounded by classical things,
Yeah,
like I'm more excited to go to like an orchestra performance than kabuki.
That's so true.
Yeah, and I like now I think
Yeah.
I am interested in kabuki, but there's always gonna be a part of me that's like orchestra.
Yeah.
Our education system, guys.
yeah.
Either way, there's like in terms of race, I think some people find it weird that I play violin. Not weird, but they're like, oh,
What?
you play violin?
Seriously, people
Yeah.
have said that to
Instead
you?
of like even now in orchestra,
yeah,
not school orchestra. Like right now in orchestra, I'm first violin.
yeah,
So when I remember when I first auditioned, I think they
Yeah.
were like already ready to reject me. because I also like, not that I'm good at violin,
Yeah.
but like I'm not like I can play. and I think with violin, like my mom wanted me to have something that's like a insurance that I can be a part of this higher I hate calling it higher class.
But the more highly
section,
regarded section
like
of
highly recognized
society.
Music.
Society.
Yeah. So that's sad. And I think like especially with parents and stuff, they always have this like old fashioned mindset.
That is so true.
Because like it's out of love, but it's a consequence.
I
right?
remember my mom as a young kid like forcing me to play the piano. She's like, play the piano,
Oh, yeah.
play
I
the
played the
piano.
piano.
My mom was a tiger mom. She was like, you're gonna do ballet, you're gonna play piano, and then you're gonna go to singing lessons.
I know.
How many people actually do ballet? Because I feel like in international schools, like a lot of people do ballet.
That is.
I don't know a single girl who didn't do ballet.
Oh, I never did ballet.
Oh, okay, good to know.
Yeah, because I did like hula, the Hawaiian.
Oh, that's so
dancing.
cool.
So like
Yeah.
I never did ballet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I never did it.
What?
My mom like went to, like forced me to go to class, and then after one class, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. No.
Yeah. Ballet. Ballet is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, no, we're gonna talk about ballet later. And then we're gonna move on because we're actually running out of time.
okay.
With ballet shoes, you guys know what ballet shoes are.
Yeah.
Yes, they're expensive, aren't
They're
they?
okay. First of all, they're expensive.
Yeah.
Ballet also part of this classical art that's not accessible to everybody, as opposed to hip hop lessons, which cost like $5 a lesson. But with ballet, the ballet shoes, they're supposed to match your feet. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a whole.
I did not
documentary
know
about
that
it.
actually.
Like
Yeah,
they
so
have to
with-
change their like shoes
Yeah,
every
yeah.
week.
Yeah, that too. But with black ballerinas,
Yeah.
obviously
Oh,
it's
that,
gonna
yes.
stand out a lot more.
Yeah.
So then I saw this brand who started making ballet shoes for darker skinned dancers,
I saw that too.
and I was like, yeah. And I was like, that shouldn't have been an issue. Like, there's small things like that where I didn't even know that the shoes were supposed to be my skin color until I watched things like that a lot later on. And I was like, yeah, ballet was definitely a worst part. And there were, like, in general, ballet behavior is not accessible to black people because like growing up every ballet I watched, I don't think I saw a single black person until I watched Nutcracker in Colorado in like 2018. Yeah, and like all the great ballerinas are very European, like, you know, it originated there, so whatever. But it's hard to say that like art is accessible, or like art has nothing to do with race when you never see an incorporation of races even in these classical forms of art. But yeah, anyways, I have a lot of trauma from ballet. I don't know if you can tell. So maybe it's a good thing that you guys didn't do ballet in general.
Yeah. So maybe it is that, like, I think to sum it up, like we've talked about the fact that like a lack of access to an art form, whether it's like, you know, like art, painting or whatever, and like in music, it really, like, depending on your level of access to it, it sort of like limits you to that
Exactly.
world, or, like,
No, and also, even if you enter this whole new world of higher art, I feel like you're always gonna have that label of being pioneers, like race pioneers, like, oh man, the first black person to do this, rather than your actual ability to do the art as of now. But yeah, anyways. I'm like so stressed.
No.
Yeah, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to have these conversations outside of the podcast, actually, because I feel like we never sit down as much as we should. We don't really sit down to talk about important things like that, so it's good, especially with exam season coming up. So it's good to get it out of our system. Anyways, okay, actually we are running out of time, but I wanted to talk about Hollywood. The TV show. If you haven't watched it, you should. Unless you're a child, don't watch it. But
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either.
Are you 18?
I'm 18 now.
Oh,
I just turned 18.
Just passed.
Yeah.
I'm still 7. I'm
Okay.
gonna
I
turn
can't believe
18
that
in a
shit.
month.
I know. Okay, anyways.
Okay, that's a
Okay,
different
maybe you
story.
should
But
watch it. But yeah, it's a show. It's about the film industry in California, obviously. In like, I want to say 1980s, 1970s. I may be entirely wrong. It's been a while. Laura Harrier's in it. She's in Spider-Man.
Oh.
Did you watch Spider-Man?
Yes, I watched
Oh, yeah,
Spider-Man.
yeah. She's a pretty girl. The first one.
I think
She's
I
the one Tom
saw
Holland had a
half
crush
of
on.
it.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, her.
Yeah.
I got you.
She's in it. And basically, she plays this black actress, and how her race kind of affected the way her film that she was starring in was going to be told, and like how she ended up being incorporated into the film and things like that. So it's very interesting. I think it's one perspective. It's a perspective. There's many more, especially in California, but that's a recommendation I have. Do you guys have any movie recommendations to our listeners or books?
I'm not watching anything right now.
Yeah, same. I haven't.
I
haven't
knew
watched
that was going to be the answer too.
Movie. Oh yeah, but
Music?
TV shows. Oh, like there's this like thriller mystery TV show I watched recently, and like it was really, really, really boring in the first four.
The way you were talking about it was really, really, really boring.
It was really boring in the first 4 episodes, but like there's 2 plot twists at the end, which are really good. But like I don't know if it makes it worth it. But it's called Under Her Eyes. So
don't know it.
yeah. So like if you watch that TV show, just persevere until the end. But I don't know if it's worth it. Yes.
Anyways, okay. Thank you for listening. To conclude really quickly, there's we barely touched racism in the arts, or the issues in racism in the arts. I think we just generally talked about a few. So as always, you should do your own research. You should also be supporting a lot of minority races in the music industry. I can think of Willow. Do you know Willow Smith?
Yes.
I love her music.
Yes.
Yeah, she's good. Things like that. Maybe think about the movies that you're watching if you want. Watch some more movies, watch some more film, listen to more music, and that's always going to be a good thing. But yeah, okay. As always, we encourage you to do your own research.
Yes.
Everything we said today is our opinion.
Yeah.
More or less. We might have gotten some things wrong, but who knows? Yeah, thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.